views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
With our studio audience doing their thing. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Open, the one and only show that opens up the Bronx and the world to you. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and we have a fantastic show for you today. Coming up on today's show, we'll learn about a Black History Month event working to engage students on the important issues of social studies, and then we'll discover a local school, what they're doing to celebrate innovation. And then we'll sit down with a businesswoman offering tips and advice with a goal to help others get started. And keeping in the business theme, well, we'll hear about a Black-owned small business Saturdays and what one group's effort is, what they're doing to support entrepreneurs. After that, well, check it out. You're going to want to get involved in this. Brew You Wellness. Yes, Brew You Wellness. It is what it is. And we'll hold an upcoming yoga session in the Bronx, and we'll get the preview. And then later on, we'll check out our free acting classes that's coming to the Bronx. Free acting classes, so if you want to get your acting on, stay tuned. All this and more headed your way because we are now open. Keep it going, keep it going. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open, the only live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Stay connected to us through social media, BronxNet TV. We begin this morning's show with some Monday morning highlights of events and issues impacting our community. Bronx elected officials recently gathered for their annual Black History Month event, African American Abrazo. This event, which is a part of a regular series put on by Council Member Ruben Diaz Sr. to highlight different cultures, honored Norma Saunders, the president of the Bronx River Houses. The gathering brought out hundreds of people and was filled with music, dancing, food, and more. And this past weekend, the Bronx Coalition of Parks and Green Spaces held their annual Bronx Parks Speak Up event. This event is an annual community networking event for environmental stakeholders, offering attendees the opportunity to learn about resources for the many parks in our borough. The event included panel discussions, workshops, speakers, and presentations. And on Saturday, March the 3rd, Fever Records will hold the Forever Freestyle 12. That's at the Lehman Center. The night will include freestyle legends including Judy Torres, TKA, CoverGirls, and more. The doors open at 7 p.m. and the show begins at 8 p.m. And in the Riverdale section of the Bronx, the Wave Hill House is holding an exhibition. It's showcasing different birds around the city. Let's take a look.
Ecologiac, Missing Birds of New York, is an art opening hosted by Gabriel Willow at Wave Hill House Expositions. A series of drawings and paintings were displayed by Gabriel and Mike Childs.
I lead a lot of nature walks, and I educate the public about nature, including birds, which is sort of a passion of mine. And so I often think about what, in addition to what you see, what you don't see, you know. And so, for example, one of these bird species, the passenger pigeon, was probably the most abundant bird that ever lived. And so I think about how different our experience is that we never get to witness that. You know, something where there was 3 to 4 billion of them in existence, and they're just gone now.
Painter Mike Childs grew up in Toronto in the 70s, where he became fascinated by the structure of buildings and patterns. He moved to the Bronx 25 years ago, and since then, his fascination with the structure of objects hasn't slowed down one bit.
What I want Bronxites to get out of my work, I would think certainly enjoyment, the different colors and the way the colors speak to each other, but also the next time that they look at something odd out there in the world, it might be a piece of graffiti that's painted out or a strange combination of garbage even. It's like everything out there in the world has the possibility to be some kind of doorway into some kind of fascinating design, some opportunity to think about the world as an aesthetic object.
It's really great to see work outside of the studio environment, and this place is so spectacular.
Support Wave Hill. It's a gem in the Bronx, and see the beautiful gardens here, and you get to see a couple of art shows at the same time. It's a nice day trip, and you can bring your children to do the art project here as well.
For further information about exhibits at Wave Hill, visit wavehill.org. This is Ashley Tiffany reporting from BronxNet.
And welcome back, everybody, to the studio. Hey, you know, on March the 12th, Food and Finance High School, they will host their Small Plates, Big Hearts Gala. And if you're hungry and you want to come on down, you're welcome. Joining us for a preview of this and to share more about the city's culinary high school, we have Eliza.
Eliza Loehr, the program director.
There you go. And education, fun, and student Nia
Hyacinthe.
Hyacinthe. All right. We welcome you guys to the show.
Thank you so
for
much.
having us.
So you guys are cooking up a storm over there. Tell us about it.
Yeah.
So Food and Finance High School is actually New York City's only culinary-focused public high school. So the students take 3 years of culinary, baking, and pastry classes, and then in their senior year, and Nia's one of our seniors,
All right.
they do our internship program. So Nia, do you want to talk a little bit about your internship?
So this fall, I was able to have the opportunity to internship at Wash's Bakery, where I'm going to be working, I am working front of the house. And in my previous internships with Food and Finance High School, I've worked back of the house. So I was able to work with a ton of chefs from all over the country and work back of the house.
Wait, front of the house, back of the house, explain that.
So front of the house, you're basically doing either cashier, just working with the
Got it,
customers
okay.
hand in hand, and then back of the house is just straight food production.
You got your hands in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You either have your hands in the money or the hands in the food.
In the food, yeah.
So wash your hands when you go back and forth.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so how does that make you feel? I mean, you're doing something that you love, right? You're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And you're making money now.
Of course. I mean, it's really exciting. And then it's not even just about the money, just working with the chefs
See, that's
from
good.
all
When
around.
it's not about the money right now, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
You'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, just working with chefs from all around the country is just amazing. It's These are people that you see on TV, and it's like you're able to work with them hand in hand. So it's a pretty big thing.
How does it feel to, be with this is the only city's culinary arts school, right?
Yeah.
How does that feel to have the only, there was a Second Chance school, the Wildcat Academy. They had a culinary arts department in there, but I don't know if it's still operational. But
Yeah,
you're
so
the only
there's-
school that's doing
Right,
that.
that's fully culinary focused.
Yes.
So the school, it was founded in 2004 as, it actually dates back to 1938, the Food Trades Vocational High School,
Oh,
and then has kind of transformed over the years. But it's incredible to be able to have 6 commercial kitchens in a public high school.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the finance part, actually, we are...
A long way from just home economics, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how many people
Yeah.
remember that.
No, this is real chef stuff. So
Yeah.
we're doing all of the knife cuts, working with, so Tom Klick is our host for the gala.
Yeah.
But then the finance part of the school is we have a retail space right
Yes.
in the building, which is this fall with Nia's class, we did a pop-up coffee shop.
Yeah.
And Nia was our PR director. Do you want to talk about what publications you got there?
So starting from the beginning of the school year, the last 3 months of last semester, we were able to plan and work together to open our cafe. It was called Murphy's Beans and Dreams, dedicated to the founder, Richard Murphy. So
Let me
those
hide this.
So each student in the class got a different opportunity to play a different role, and I was able to become the publicist and the PR director.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I was able to go out and get press for our opening, and I was able to work with New York Times, Eater, Edible Manhattan, and it was just a great experience. And now I actually got the opportunity to have a PR internship for my summer before I go away to college.
So wait a minute, if you're going to come out, you're going to start a business, right?
Of course.
So you're going to start a business, you know your marketing, you know your PR.
Yeah, I know it all.
And you're going to have to
Cooking,
handle that
everything.
money.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite dish?
My favorite dish is cheesecake.
Because, okay.
So I'll tell you where I got cheesecake from. My grandmother.
Coffee and cheesecake the next time we come?
Yeah, of course. So my 90-year-old grandmother, she was making cheesecakes all the time every Saturday night for church.
You have our recipe?
Yeah, I have
Oh
a
my
recipe.
God.
And I make it for everybody, classmates, teachers, anybody that sees me, they always know Nia has the cheesecake. So
So what does she put in it?
I can't tell you.
All right, that's what I was going to say.
But that's her secret recipe. So every Saturday night before we went to church in the morning, we would make cheesecakes for our second service. And I've always kept that tradition. I'm going to keep it in my family. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Tell us about the gala.
So the gala it's on March 12th. We have 27 chefs that come and create dishes. So chefs from Loring Place, from Jams, from Balud Sud, all over the city, some of the top chefs. And it's hosted by Chef Tom Colicchio, the host of Top Chef. And then the students, we'll have 30 different students working directly with the chefs to help serve the food. And this year we're celebrating innovation. So we'll have a whole innovation lab that covers kind of what the food of the next 30, 40 years will be, and what those trends are.
That's excellent. Now, wait a minute. You work with Cornell University?
We do.
The one on Roosevelt Island?
No, so actually Cornell University Cooperative Extension runs an aquaponic, hydroponic, and aquaculture lab right out of our school.
Really?
So on our rooftop we have an aquaponic greenhouse that's first of its kind with Dr. Professor Warner.
So you don't have the regular roof up there with all the tar and all that stuff. You have
no.
stuff
That's
growing.
next,
Yeah.
So we have fish and plants
So
up
you
there.
can pull stuff right out of the roof and,
Of course, and
cook it.
and the students were
Yeah.
able
And
to cook it, yeah.
Students also do internships in the aquaponics lab, so that's another.
Can you put a cow up there to eat grass?
You wish. Fresh milk.
You can farm, right? Yeah.
I know, right?
Fresh milk in New
Farms
York
and
City.
chickens and everything.
Yeah.
So that's
You're onto
wonderful.
something.
Yeah.
So you guys must be very excited about what's going on at the
Of
school.
course,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big thing.
How can more students get involved?
So it's actually a fully public high school, so it's a lottery program to be able to come, but we welcome any students to come for a tour. We have students from all 5 boroughs. Nia.
I'm from Queens, so
Lives in Queens.
I travel from Jamaica, Queens every day to Manhattan. So it's worth it. It's definitely
She
worth
represents Queens. I was raised out in Brooklyn. What song did I come from? You're right,
LL
LL
Cool
Cool
J.
J. There you go. All right.
But yeah, any students are welcome to come for an open house or a tour. We really just want students that want to be there. We have so many opportunities for
Great.
students.
Can we go online and check it out?
Yeah, absolutely. Foodandfinancehs.org.
There you go. Thank you guys so much. We have Eliza and Nia.
Yeah.
Thank
I'll
you
let
so
you guys
much.
say your last names because my mouth is going to
Loehr.
jumble it up.
And hyacinth, like the flower.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you
coming.
so much for having
And
us.
next time you come back, can you cook us something?
Of
or
course,
I'll
prepare
bring you some
something or bake us
cheesecake.
something? Grandma's cheesecake, there's nothing like it. Thank you
Yeah.
guys so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank
much for having
you.
us.
We have to take a quick break, but stay tuned. I promise we'll be right back. Very good.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Love is kind. Love is patient.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. because love has no labels.
Well, welcome back. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee. And you know, on February the 28th, the Literary Freedom Project, they're going to be holding a Black History Month lesson plan workshop. And joining us with all the details, we have Executive Director Ron Kavanaugh.
Hey,
Ron?
how you doing? Thank you so much.
Sounds like a food name. We just had a food restaurant, Kavanaugh.
Caviar.
Caviar, yeah.
I've heard it all.
You've heard it all, right?
I've heard it all.
Hey, as long as you're living, you're going to hear it. If it's a
That's
beautiful
good
thing, we welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much.
Tell us some of the things that you're working on.
So the Literary Freedom Project, what we do, we develop literary programs here in the Bronx. We are one of the co-presenters of the Bronx Book Fair in May, but we also do workshops throughout the Bronx. Oh, okay. And we partner with the Laundromat Project to start doing workshops in their space. So this Wednesday, we're going to have our first workshop there on Black History Month.
In the Laundromat?
The Laundromat, it's not going to be in a laundromat.
It's a program.
But it's actually a program that sets up different art activities in laundromats.
Oh, it definitely opens up the mind.
Yeah. And it also invites families in, because that's where families spend like a lot of their Saturdays or evenings. But they also have an office in the Bronx on 920 Kelly Street, and that's where our workshop will be. And the whole idea is really professional development, giving educators better tools, lessons, curriculum on how to just infuse different kind of aspects of Black culture and Black identity into their daily curriculums and lesson plans.
Because it's not really taught properly in our public school system.
It's not taught. Oftentimes the teachers, we rely on the teachers and the educators and the parents to kind of do that leadership in this area. So every month we all get excited, it's Black History, but then the rest of the year, the rest of the 9 months, there's nothing going on.
Black History is all year.
Yeah, it's every day. So what we try to do is develop lesson plans and workshops that actually go throughout the year, but focus on different subjects, bringing literature and education all around Black identity and social studies into the classroom.
And you do this, you invite schools or teachers?
Teachers. So it's mainly for teachers and parents. So it is what we call...
And parents are teachers.
Right, exactly. Yes. So it's what we call professional development, which is usually for educators. We aim at the junior high school and high school level. So our lesson plans are kind of developed for that sector of teenagers and teachers who teach young adults.
Yeah, I like that junior high school level because the students are you still mold them.
Yeah.
You know, once you get into high school,
right?
Yeah, like
they're kind of set.
More or less. Yeah.
But you know, also the good thing is, or the challenge is that junior high school age when kids kind of start. They want their independence, and parents are more than happy so that these kids that have been latched onto their legs for 13 years are suddenly independent, but they stop reading or they read less.
That's the adolescent stage.
Right, exactly. They read less or they read differently.
Yeah.
So now everybody's reading on their mobile devices. They're only grabbing snippets of information instead of books of information.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to offer challenge to that. It's easy to kind of just sit back and not think that our history is important. But this is what defines us. This is what kind of sets us on this path through America. Without each history, without Black history, Latino history, Greek history, however you look at it, that's all American history. Right. So I'm trying to kind of set a path and a sector focused on Black history.
How do you choose your literature? How do you choose the books? Teachers?
Yeah. Recently, we've been really affected by Black Lives Matter. So a lot of what we've been doing is based around that movement. Right. So we've done lesson plans specifically on Black Lives Matter. The current workshop that will happen this Wednesday at the Laundromat Project is focused on the book The Fire This Time and The Fire Next Time. The Fire Next Time was by James Baldwin, and The Fire This Time is by Jesmyn Ward. They're both books of essays, they're both anthologies, so we're really trying to give, again, educators and parents different ways to kind of bring Black history, but also Black identity into the home or the classroom.
And I like that you're getting the parents involved, because the parents need to be more involved in education. At a time, the adolescent stage is like, oh, mom, leave me alone, dad, leave me alone. You know, don't come to the school, okay?
Right, exactly. So we're trying to kind of build something that kind of balances that, where we understand that whole adolescent stage is just set. There's nothing. It was set from when we were young.
That's right.
It's going to be the same now, but we're still trying to give parents and again teachers different tools that wherever they see an opening, wherever they see an option, to just try to insert something about Black culture, Black history, social studies, which is much broader than just Black identity.
Yeah. What can you say about literature being used to empower? A lot, right?
You know, everything we are, all of our knowledge, everything that we've gained, the reason you are here, the reason I am here, is because of information that was in a book. Whether it is a nonfiction book, whether it is a textbook, whether it is a fiction book. Sure, we love the idea of people passing on stories to us in a verbal sense, but we really need people to read. We really need people to be informed by the text that has been written before them that will influence them, and hopefully that person will then influence others. So books are just so important to who we are, but they're also important to who we can become. So, you know, if you read a book about Tokyo or Africa, even if you read a comic book and it mentions Wakanda in it, that can kind of open up who you are and what you might become.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Everything.
Did you see the movie yet?
I saw it once, and I'm going to see it again this Thursday. I loved it. There's already people developing curriculum around the movie.
Yeah, you can see it in 3 different formats.
Yeah.
Was it IMAX?
I saw it in IMAX.
You saw it in IMAX? They said you can see it regular IMAX, and what's the other one?
There's 3D IMAX, 2D IMAX, and this regular, just pay your money. But it was a great film. It's a great film.
And it's a record breaker.
It's a record, I think $700 million.
$700 million for the second week, right?
That's crazy. That's crazy. But again, even Black Panther, you know, so often we see our kids reading comic books. That's a starting point. Connect that Black Panther comic book and movie to the actual Black Panthers. Introduce something from that history that connects to the Black Panther movie. We have to find ways to just keep books and information and learning really important in the lives of adolescents.
What message did you see in the movie Black Panther?
Unity, you know, innovation, the whole idea that this Black narrative that you and I have grown up with was a false narrative, has always been a false narrative, but we've never had the means to kind of, until recently really, the means to kind of counter that narrative. So we always picture Africans as just like poor people who for some reason can't lift themselves up. But if you look at Nigeria, Nigeria is leading the way in all technology, particularly cellular technology. You know, it's really amazing what's happening like Nigeria and Ghana and Northern Africa. It's just like America, it's just a mix of inputs. But here in America, we only get the best. When America reflects Africa, we only see the worst. So hopefully.
Well, I went out there with a group of African Americans. We went to South Africa. And we had a debate. There was a group of South Africans and a group of African Americans, and they were telling how each saw each other. Well, you see us as, you know, what you see on National Geographic with the animals and all that stuff. And you see us as lazy, being lazy African Americans, and Right. So where can we go for more information on what you're doing?
Just go to our website, mosaicmagazine.org.
I like it.
All the information is there.
mosaicmagazine.org.
Yeah.
Give him a big hand, everybody. Ron Kavanaugh, Executive Director, Literary Freedom Project.
Thank you so much.
Come back again, all right?
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. All right. Thank you so much. We'll take a quick break right up. We'll come back with more next.
Hi, I'm David Lesh, legal correspondent to the morning show Open. If you have a legal question that you'd like me to answer, please send me an email at davidlesh@bronxnet.org, and I will address it on our Ask Your Lawyer segment.
And welcome back, everybody. You know, on March the 23rd and April the 19th, our next guest will host tours of the garment district industry and offer business tips. Have you ever been down there? Well, joining us with all the details, we have Christine Daal, CEO and founder of Fashion Angel Warrior, LLC. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
When did you start
so glad
this?
to be here. Well, it officially started 2 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and I was a designer for many years in the industry, worked my way up to head designer by the age of 24, then VP of design and merchandising by the age of 30, so I had a lot of success. Then I started my own fashion line, had a lot of success with that. People just naturally started coming to me, asking me for help to help them start a fashion line, and I realized—
found out who you were.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was my true calling, so yeah.
So you work down, or you give tours down by where they have this guy down there that's sewing a button. There's a big statue down there, right?
Yes, the guy,
in
the
the
garment
district.
worker. Yes, that was done by Judith Weller of her grandfather.
Whoa, there you
Yes,
go.
yes.
See, I grew up in the printing, well, out of high school. I went to the School for Graphic Arts and Communications.
Okay.
And there was a printer. The guy who first did movable type. His name was Gutenberg.
Yes.
Yes. So you being in the business, you know who those people are.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
You have to, because somebody's going to ask one day, oh yeah, I know that person. So tell us about some of the things that you're doing.
Well, we are a fashion consulting agency. We specialize in business, career, and image consulting. And primarily we work with startup and established designers, pretty much helping them the entire step of the way to start and grow profitable businesses. And we do this through one-on-one coaching, group coaching, online courses, and workshops like garment district tours.
And these designers going to be?
Famous designers, emerging designers, startup designers, whatever they choose to be.
But they work for like Macy's and places like that, or
Most
how
of the
does
time they're
that work?
starting their own business.
Got
Sometimes they want to get a job in the industry and we can help them with that, but a lot of times they just want to start their own business and have their own
in this
fashion
business,
line.
you're designing and sewing clothing. How does that work?
So it's a very complex process, but yes, we take them through the entire process of how to source their fabrics, how to source their trims, where to look for pattern makers and manufacturers to get all their things manufactured, how to sell their garments, how to build a following on social media. So we really teach them the entire process.
See, people in the business know that language. I'm
Yes.
trying to get to the people that that are watching that. Maybe this is something I want to get involved in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this thing that people may want to get involved in, you're the coach for it.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely. We help them every step of the way.
So if somebody wants to get involved, what's the first step?
Well, a good first step is to come on our garment district tour. We do the tour once a month, once every other month. They're always sold out. And really the tour is designed to give you an overview of how to take your idea from a sketch all the way through to a final garment. Because most people have the sketch, they have the idea, they have the passion, but they don't know how to actually get it produced. Where do I get my fabric? Where do I get my zippers?
Right.
How do I get a pattern made? How do I get production made? So I take them through to all of my personal contacts and vendors and show them this is the people that you need to work with to get your line done.
And that's important because a lot of people get stuck and they won't follow up on everything that they want to do because they don't know those missing steps. They don't know what's around the corner. How do I get from point A to point B, and so on and so forth.
Exactly, exactly.
And you have all of that information for them.
Yes, I've been in the business for over 15 years, so I've got a lot of contacts and experience.
All right, when does the tour start?
The next tour is March 23rd, but it is already sold out, so the following one will be April 19th.
All right,
yes.
Sold out April
19th.
19th.
That's a Thursday.
Okay, let me
And they're
write that
from
down.
11 to 5. It's a 6-hour tour, and we take the designers around to 6 different stops of different wholesale fabric suppliers, wholesale trim suppliers, pattern makers, manufacturers, label manufacturers. We have lunch on the tour. We do Q&A during lunch. It's a lot of fun. People have so much fun and information. It's really exciting.
Yeah, if you drive through it, you see all of those things along the way, right?
Exactly.
There's a lot of people they're selling wholesale.
Yes.
A lot of times.
Yes. We don't really focus too much on that. We focus more on actually physically making garments.
Right. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next one is the 19th.
Yes.
And they should go where to sign up?
You can go to fashionangelwarrior.com and click on the events tab.
And everything's right there for you.
Yes, definitely.
Why is this information so valuable?
Well, I found that a lot of clients were coming to me, they had no contacts in the industry. And not only that, but they weren't sure what questions to ask when they were going to these manufacturers. And so a lot of these manufacturers were basically taking advantage of the fact that they're newbies and they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
At the same time, the garment industry is shrinking, especially the garment district. A lot of people are going overseas. A lot of people are talking about moving the garment district to Sunset Brooklyn. And a lot of my vendors are constantly complaining the rent is going up, the business is going down. And so I thought this would be a great way to kind of kill two birds with one stone, to give the designers the contacts that they want that's pretty much not given to them in any other facet, and then also at the same time bring business back to the garment district to really save the garment district.
Excellent. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a
You're doing
win-win
some work.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to do in life, get the knowledge of what to do, what to say, how to be, and you're equipping all the people with the information.
Yeah, it's important to have a mentor. I always had mentors in my career, and it's important in this industry especially to know a lot of people. It really is all who you know and not what you know.
There you go. Where can we go to check you out on the website or something like that?
You can go to fashionangelwarrior.com. You can follow me on Instagram at fashionangelwarrior. And you can also join our Facebook group, which is amazing, called The Fearless Fashionpreneur. We do Facebook Lives every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Well, Christine, I'm following you.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Christine Daal, give her a big round of applause, everybody. CEO and founder of Fashion Angel Warrior, LLC. Christine, thank you so much.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break right here, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Open next. Very good, Christine.
Thank you.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it.
And welcome back, everybody. You know, on March the 31st, Black-Owned Small Business Saturday. It's going to take place, and joining us with all the details, we have organizer Bianca Williams. She's here to discuss the whole thing.
Yes.
Tell us about it. How did you come up with the name? When did you get started?
Okay, so it started.
Where have you been in our lives?
So it started roughly, I'll say, 2 years ago, starting today, but it was named something else. So it used to be called Catch My Lash because I started in the beauty industry. So I had a eyelash line and things of that nature. So I decided to call it Catch My Lash. So when I did the first Catch My Lash event, I just wanted to bring together like-minded people. I wanted to bring together beauty industry people, bloggers, media, everything. So that way we can talk about turning our small businesses into larger businesses. So
you also had Be Pretty Incorporated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where it all started from. So I had this first event, and it was great. It was about 75 to 100 people there and things of that nature. But it was excellent. But I didn't really get out what we really set out to do. So what I decided to do, and my whole team, we decided to do a tour. We were going to fund this whole tour. We were going to do a tour for 18 months, 6 events. We didn't know where we were going to go and what we were going to do, but we know we needed answers. We just did not want to do events where it's so many people, but what did you get out of the event? You know, it was just cute people there, but we didn't want that. So what we did was we had our first event that was New York City. After the New York City event, we got so many offers in to do other places. So we wound up in Atlanta, and we ended our tour in Toronto.
Wait, where are you from? Where are you from?
Brooklyn, New York.
From Brooklyn.
Yes.
So New York City is like Right across the river there. All right, so New York City it's an excellent springboard. This is the #1 market in the world. But then you got offers from other cities.
Yes, we got offers from other cities. So what we did, funding the tour, it was invite only. So we only invited elite people that could come, like I said, bloggers and speakers and things like that. And we asked them, what would you like to see? And the main thing we heard was they feel that us in our community, we don't get together, we don't support each other, and we want our own to support us. So that's why we continue the tour, and then we finally named it Black-Owned Small Business Saturday.
There you go. So when's the next one?
Okay, so the first one was in December at the Black Lady Theater. Are you familiar with the Black Lady Theater in Brooklyn, New York? So we had over 250 people attend that one. Yes, so the next one will be March 31st at the Bronx Museum of the Arts.
Yeah, we'll celebrate our birthday over there. You bring a cake, I'll come.
Of
no,
course.
I'm only kidding. So what's going to happen there? What shall we expect?
Okay, so you can expect about 20 to 25 vendors there. We're going to have speakers there. We're going to have authors there. It's going to be a fun, evening where everyone's going to come together. You'll be able to network with like-minded businesses. You'll be able to get some freebies because all our events are free, and we do give out free gift bags because we do get a lot of sponsorships in. So you'll be able to meet people that can potentially grow your business. There'll be lawyers there. There'll be media there. Just an all-around network and fun evening.
Do you have to use a lawyer to start your business, to get like an LLC or a C Corp or S Corp?
No, you don't have to, but it's preferred just so you know all the ins and outs of what you're really getting yourself into. Because along with doing sole proprietor, LLC and things like that, you have to worry about taxes and other things like that. So you need to know if you need to be limited or sole proprietor.
Yeah, I like the S Corp and the C Corps because you have there's that wall.
Right. This is business and this is me. Yep.
I'm back here. There's the wall that you have to run into with this business
Absolutely.
to get to me. But I'm sure you said you've been doing it for about 2 years or so. Right?
Yes, that's right.
So what have you learned by doing this within the 2 years you've been doing it?
I have learned that we really do come out and support each other. It's just that we may not know of all the businesses that are in our communities. Yeah. So like this past Monday, we have a natural hair salon that's actually in the Bronx. That's Be Pretty Glam Factory, home of the glamification services. And we made 2 years, February 19th. Yes.
Home of the glamification services.
Yes. So we made 2 years this past Monday. So, we made it a point to go out into our community and let them know that we were there. We're located in Parkchester, 1830 Archer Street. So we made it a point to go out to the community to let them know that we were there. We offer free hair services and things of that nature. So a lot of times people just don't know about our businesses. It's not that they don't want to support it.
But you said natural hair services?
Yes, we specialize in natural hair care. So we do like scalp treatments, exfoliation.
So use the hair on your head?
Yep. That's it.
Yeah. Because you can put in some hair too.
Yes.
I need like a little bit right up in here.
No, you're good.
I don't know, look a little closer. So everybody's going to learn a whole lot. You got all these people all under one roof.
Yes.
For March the 31st.
Yes.
Where's it going to be again?
The Bronx Museum of the Arts on Grand Concourse.
Okay. And how do people sign up? How do people get involved?
You can go to, on Instagram and Facebook, you can follow us at Black-Owned Small Business Saturday. You can also follow my page at Bianca M. Williams, and you can email us at blackownedSmallBusinessSaturday@gmail.com because we also have a lot of events. So like March 10th, we have the Black-Owned Small Business Brunch, which is a more intimate setting. You'll meet lawyers and things, and you can ask them personal questions during that time. Atlanta, April 14th, we'll be there as well.
Well, your contact list is growing. Yeah, look at you. So you're traveling. I might even go down south. I'm about 4 hours away from you. I'm in South Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
But Atlanta, I got a lot of friends over there.
Yes, Atlanta's great.
Yeah. So that's going to take place then. But so what should people know upon coming to this event March the 31st? Should they bring something with them?
Yes, please bring business cards. Please bring an open mind, resume, because you're going to learn a lot. Bring some people with you, of course. Please RSVP for your free gift bag. And just come to have a great time, network with like-minded people, and learn about our other events, because a lot of our business owners offer so many free services, so they'll be able to take advantage of those.
And where do we go again?
Black-Owned Small Business Saturday at gmail.com and blackowned-small-business-saturday.com.
Give her a big hand, everybody. Bianca M. Williams, organizer, BOSBS, and founder of Be Pretty Incorporated. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. All right.
My name is Osvaldo Adames. I grew up in the Bronx and went to school right here at the Bronx School for Law, Government, and Justice. In the 7th grade, I hadn't given college that much thought. But all of that changed when I entered the Bronx Institute at Lehman College's Gear Up program. Gear Up helped simplify the entire college application process, helping me prepare for the SATs and organizing college visits and open houses. Last year, I graduated from Hamilton College in upstate New York with a major in mathematics and a minor in Mandarin Chinese. Now, I'm a teacher at my old middle school. I think back to 7th grade, and I honestly had no idea how much help Gear Up would be. They offered me the support I needed to succeed. If you're enrolled in Gear Up, talk to your academic coach or visit the Bronx Institute at www.thebronxinstitute.org for more information.
And welcome back. You know, on March the 24th, our next guest will hold a Brew You yoga session. Brew You yoga session. Your tongue won't go along with it, but she's going to explain the whole thing. Joining us with all the details, we have Leanne Maciel, the founder of Brew You Wellness. Brew You is what it is, what it says.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks very much for having me, first of all.
Oh, welcome. You're always welcome.
So Brew You Yoga is a yoga experience, a yoga class in the center of, or the heart, really, of the Bronx Brewery, where I take the class through a full hour yoga class, and then we do a beer tasting after.
Oh, I thought you did the beer first, and then, no?
No, not.
Can you?
That's up to you. That's not the way the classes run. But to each their own, right?
All right, so how does it go now?
So we do a class right in the middle of the brewery, and it's a vinyasa flow class. It's about an hour long, and then we do a tasting of 4 different beers from the Bronx Brewery after the class. So it's a fun way to kind of just balance social interaction. People come a lot of times with their friends to spend a Saturday afternoon getting some exercise in, having some beers, and kind of just enjoying themselves.
I love it.
Yes.
Now, the vinyasa flow,
yes.
what type of yoga is that?
It's Ashtanga based. It's really a class I designed for all levels of people. I like to say it's a class for all levels of yoga and drinking experience. So it's very much, like I said, Ashtanga in its foundation, but it's a flow. You're going to get a good kind of, you're going to get a little bit of a sweat on, but you're going to stretch, you're going to feel good, you're going to work on your breathing to really have a
breath
full
work is very, very important.
Absolutely,
yes.
It is.
So upon coming to your class, do you have to dress a certain way?
Comfortable yoga clothing or just comfortable clothes. I've had a lot of guys who just happen to be in the brewery when we happen to be doing it.
No.
No. But like they've come in with jeans or shorts and things like that. So comfortable clothes is really what you need to do the class.
And how's it going to look? What's the first thing we do?
First, I actually talk a little bit about how I created this and got into created the Brew You Yoga program.
How did you create it?
I used to work in the beer business. I was in the corporate world for 15 years, and then I left the beer business to become a health coach and a yoga instructor. So sometimes people look at me and say, "Okay, those are two very different things."
Just put it all together. Let's put this whole thing in the mix and stir it up.
Because why not? So I actually saw, as I made that transition, it was more of, there's more similarities between beer and yoga than people might have thought.
Yeah.
There's, they're both ancient traditions. They've been around for centuries. There's a lot of rituals that are included in both. There's a sense of community, right? If you're sitting in a room, like you said, breathing is so important. You're sitting in a room and you're breathing with others and you're moving together. It fosters a sense of community, not unlike beer, which also, you know, it's the oldest social lubricant, if you will, right? So, so there's a lot of similarities that I've kind of I brought together. And it's also just my approach to wellness in the first place, that you should really be enjoying all of the things that you love instead of, you know, depriving yourself, which so often is that kind of, that perception of health and wellness.
So people come, they want healing. What types of healing are people looking for? Is it mental, physical? Or?
That's a great question. I would say a little of both. What I do is I actually take the process of brewing and I apply that, use that as a metaphor for the class. So I ask people to think about, as we're going through the class, think about the ingredients that you want to focus on within you. So we all have the same ingredients to choose from, but it's the ones that we give our attention to and our focus that become the foundation of our being as individuals, or in this case, of our brew, right? So if you're picking rye or barley for your grain, then that's going to be the foundation of your brew. If you're focusing on, oh my God, this is so hard, or, you know, negative thoughts, that's going to become your perception of the world. Versus, this is fun, I'm going to just give it my best, that's then going to be the perception of the world. So it's mental from that capacity. I ask you to think about what you could balance within yourself during the class, and also just what kind of energy you want to put out into the world, right? So those are things that I kind of cue the class, cue the students during the class, and that's the mental component. But then, as you said, there's the physical aspect of it too, stretching, breathing, and really just opening up the body. Maybe doing, a lot of people are either new or new-ish to yoga that come to this class.
And it's like a stress buster also.
Absolutely.
Because stress causes a number of degenerative diseases.
So much that we don't even...
Or it mimics the disease.
Yes, that's a great point. And things that we don't even connect to stress sometimes can be caused by it. Yes, absolutely.
I'm for it. Helen, can we set something up where we can bring a few, I don't know how many people here drink beer, but...
we can have kombucha after too, that's another, the fermented tea.
Both will loosen you up though,
Absolutely.
The yoga, and then afterwards you get the brew going on.
Yes, and we do private classes.
And you walk out of there floating like, hey.
Absolutely, feeling good.
Good time here,
Yes. We can even dance after as
well. You can dance afterwards
sure.
too, Add a little dancing, see, put everything in the mix.
That's
you
right.
got it. And we applaud you too. Where can we go for more great information?
You can go to my website, brewyouwellness.com, where you can find the tickets to the event, the next two coming up. So I do it once a month at the Bronx Brewery. So the next one is March 24th, and then April 14th are the next two coming up.
We love you. Thank you. We
Thank
love
you.
what you're doing too. Leanne Maciel, give her a big round of applause, everybody. Founder of Brew You Wellness.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It's great to meet you.
All right, we have to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll come right back with more next.
For all the papas out there, let's stop what we're doing and take a moment. A moment to be with our kids. They can be loud moments, goofy moments, sporty moments, dorky moments, kooky moments. Moments where we talk or walk or just hang out. It doesn't really matter. They all count, because every time dads take a moment to be with their kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's all take a moment to make a moment today.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Cheru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
And our next guests are the co-founders and artistic directors of the Open Hydrant Theater Company. They join us for a look at their programs. We welcome Reyes, can I say Reyes?
Yes.
Cardenas, and Sarah Rosie. Sarah, just call me Rosie, Sarah Rosenberg. Thank you guys so much, and welcome to the show. You have a number of things coming. You have the Open Hydrant. Tell us about the company and the whole thing, all the things that you guys are doing.
For me, the South Bronx had a bad name, reputation, unearned, but because of a movie called Fort Apache, the Bronx.
Oh, yeah.
So that seemed like a wasteland instead of a thriving, beautiful community. When we came to New York to put on an off-Broadway play from Los Angeles, we were both teachers, so we were teaching in the Bronx, and then Lou went looking for a theater company.
Well, we teach theater and the arts in the charter school movement, and I went to a Taco Bell, and one of my students from about 25 years ago, one of my first students served me, and this girl should have been on Broadway, this girl should have been a star, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And she said she didn't have resources, she didn't know where to go, how to take classes. She took a class, they scammed her for $5,000. Like, she went on and on about, not being able to really have the resource to pursue a profession in the arts.
Yeah, and then they want you to, you have to join SAG and AFTRA and all that. And
so that's how Open Hydrant started. We thought we need to have a resource of some sort for a young adult, especially the youth, to be able to pursue this as a profession, not just community, but a profession, to truly go out there and know where to take a class, how to be able to study, where to get the money. I mean, just to go to a Broadway show is $300 now. So.
Again, and we were talking about that a little while ago, the steps necessary that you need to take. A lot of people don't know. No. It's like a mystery, and people just say, no, I can't do it.
And I can't do it because... We've been blessed with equity, helping our children, our students, become members of the professional organization once we're in an equity play at our theater.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm watching was so many of my youth were going out of the Bronx to go to Manhattan. And I'm thinking, well, why don't you just stay in the borough? And there was nothing really in the borough. So we're the first ever professional ensemble theater company in Hunts Point, ever in the history. So it was just ridiculous to me that this is historic. This should be something that's all over, and so we want to change that landscape.
I'm glad you guys are here to let people know and creating this awareness.
Our students have won national awards in speech debate. They win at Yale, Harvard, Stanford University, GMU. So we really encourage the community to come out and see these amazing young people.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's people in this very room that may want to get involved in some of the things that you guys are doing.
So we offer, we do different programs. We have...
See, she's looking now. She said, sign me up.
We offer a free acting class on Monday nights at our theater. Then we also do youth musicals. So we just did In the Heights, which is still playing at our theater. And then we're starting West Side Story, which we just had auditions yesterday. But we're really cultivating the youth of the community because we believe that's where it starts. It just, we have to start ingraining into our youth, becoming theater goers. Broadway's doing an amazing thing about bringing diversity to the stage, but I don't know how much they're really bringing diversity to the audience. Yeah. That's something that I'm not seeing. I went to see Hamilton and there were like 3 black audience members and maybe like 2 Latinos, and then everyone else was white. Which, okay, but I think Hamilton was built and made for everyone. And so I really want to work, and we want to work through our programs to be able to just build audiences, especially for theater.
And a claim to fame we have, our students do Shakespeare. Our next equity show is a doo-wop musical called Fools in Love. It ran off Broadway 3.5 years, so It's going to be amazing.
Oh, great.
Yeah, in the last 3 years that we've been at our theater, 17 actors have joined Actors Equity from the productions that we've produced. So we're just really excited to be able to have that bridge for anyone that's trying to pursue this as a career. You know, I really think there are amazing community theaters in the Bronx that I've been to many of the shows. It's incredible. But the reality is the ones that want to pursue this as a professional and understand what SAG, what equity is, what that really means to be able to do that, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We're really there to try to be a bridge for anyone for a professional.
How important is it for people who want to pursue this to go to these different theaters and plays and see how other people are doing this?
Even before you get to the audiences, Child Magazine wrote that besides fostering a love for reading, taking your children to the theater is the most important thing you can do.
There you go. All right.
So.
To develop the mind, you may want to get involved in acting. And
absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, we're an ensemble-based company, so we're building an ensemble. So it's not just about doing a show with us, it's about doing a show with us and doing another show with us. And then building on that and coming from an ensemble-based, you know, like Labyrinth or like Steppenwolf. We really want to build that in the Bronx and be able to have that strong
how
base
did
of
you guys
artists.
come together?
She was my high school drama teacher.
Oh, okay.
She saved my life, literally.
Yeah.
So she's
give her a big hand, everybody. Yeah.
I've been teaching, this will be my 53rd year, so I'm very proud of that. My students have gone on to great heights, so Loehr is just one of the many who have devoted their lives really to paying back students.
Oh, wow. We'll give each other a hug. Give each other a hug.
Oh, thank you.
That's a theater hug right there.
Yeah.
Where can we go for more information?
Sure, www.openhydrant.org. You also can info@openhydrant.org. Also can get in contact with us, and we're located at The Point, which is in Hunts Point.
God bless you guys.
Oh, thank you.
So you're going to be teaching a bunch of people, and you're going to give them something to do. You never know. You're going to be saving lives some more.
Yes.
Get ready.
Diversity in the arts. That's what we have to start working and getting better at being able to make.
Luis Reyes, Cardenas, give him a big round of applause, co-artistic director and co-founder of Open Hydrant. And Sarah Rosenberg, co-artistic director and co-founder of Open Hydrant Theater. Thank you guys so much.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Website one more time?
Openhydrant.org.
There you go. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us and you, our viewer, for tuning in and checking it all out. If you missed any part of today's show, where you can tune into the recablecast of Open at 5 and 10 p.m. or watch anytime on the web at BronxNet.org, or you can catch an all-new episode Wednesday at 10 a.m. with our host, Darren Jaime. For all of us here at BronxNet, give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And you listening at home and watching at home, I'll see you on the radio tonight, right after the Quiet Storm on 107.5 WBLS. And always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. And remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. Love you all. Have a great day. Peace.
Thank you.